And what's up, everybody, and welcome to the For the Boys podcast. It's been a minute. It's been ages since we've jumped on and had a had a catch up with the lads. Um, you guys know why we do this, but just a short caption of why, and yeah, just why. Basically, it's to help the brothers out there. It's about mental health. Um, we do it for do it for our people. Not only that is that we get to share our stories with everyone out there. um, we do this, we try and do this every Thursdays, 8 p.m. If not, we're doing our hardest trying to make this a safe place for all to join. And I'm also joined here with Mana and Mafioso. So tonight's going to be a little catch up. At the same time, we've got a few, maybe a topic we can discuss that I guess all, everyone goes through it. It might not be the same scenario, but at some part of your life, maybe when you're younger, um, something along those lines happened. But how we all doing, boys?
So good, good. Freezing.
Muffy, how's the foot?
Oh, bro. I need to put out a disclaimer to make sure that everyone understands it's not gout. It's pain. Well, it's pain, man.
Man,
Everyone's been giving me shit, but I've been off work for about the last 2 weeks.
damn.
Back to my limping, what looks to me like gout now, because I'm limping around on it. So, yeah, it's gotten a lot better from the
That's
Royal
the that's the first stage of gout is the denial.
See, there it is.
No, just because I've had it before. I've had gout as well. Man, that's honestly, I tell you what,
I think
I step on an area sometimes.
I can never claim the gout because I get every symptom from the swelling. Like the swelling, so I can't claim it to be gout, guys, Sore ankle. There's a serious sprain,
it must be that bad because it's been 3 weeks.
Usually
Usually.
for the last 3 weeks and been on crutches. Swanky saved me off the that wheelie thing that we kneel on.
Oh yeah, the to rest your foot.
I've not heard the end of all those things, but it's good to be. I'm on the mend, almost there. Almost there.
Nice, sure is.
Yeah, I remember a few years back, and that little niggle in the toe. You're like, fuck. You do everything else, but say that you have gout, right? You're like, fuck. I think I was talking to one of the boys, and I was like, nah, man, I think I bumped it on something, eh?
You know what's bad, Tully?
Being that good friend, he was like,
I sprained my ankle. I went straight to the doctor, and even he gave me that look, eh? And then he just sees it's like, here's some Voltaren. I said, nah, it's sprain, bro. It's legit sprain. I can't even take my boot off. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, here's some Voltaren, okay. And that's it. He just seen me having Voltaren, man.
Oh,
you never loved me.
The 70. Is it MG? Is it 70 MG? Double up.
Yeah.
That's my uncle.
Straight to
the hard stuff, eh?
The triangle. Hey, thank you to the chat for coming through. If you have any questions for us, by all means, chuck it in there, and we'll do our best.
Young Suki, never loved you also.
Oh, and speaking of yourself, Muffy, you had a successful weekend. I see, with hosting, successful. Your company running one of the best, or not? I wouldn't say the best, but the up and coming artist that's
one of the big
quite well known. How was that, bro?
You know how I was at home all weekend with a sore ankle.
I mean, like running it, not being there, but running.
So we had we were really fortunate to I don't know if you guys know Lisi, the rapper from Brisbane,
Yeah.
43. I was quite fortunate to have his manager reach out a couple of weeks back, and he
Wow.
asked me to jump on their tour. So I took myself, me and Mr. Tino there, Mr. MCT Raw, and we went and worked out a little magic. We only managed to catch the Hamilton and Auckland show, but whew,
Fucking looks
Yeah.
good, bro.
men still got it. The old men still got it. It was quite good to get out in front of some youngins again and rock the crowd a little
It
bit.
looked like you never left us. It looked like you guys
bro.
never left. It was
I tell you what,
behind the stage footage
Sorry.
there, bro. I saw that.
true story, and I'm not tooting my own horn. We rocked up, and these guys are like, "Who the hell are these old men?" Zilly?
Oh, that's the bouncers. That's the bouncers.
And then like usually they perform and then they get back to the green room.
Yeah.
As soon as we got into our zone, they all came running out of the green room to say, "What the hell's going on out here?" Zilly?"
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we matched the energy. Eh? It was good.
It
was
looked
good to
like
be
it,
able
bro.
to, like, it was pretty good. And it was just chemistry, all chemistry. We didn't rehearse nothing. It was all chemistry, so it was good to know that when it's needed, we pull it out of the back pocket and we throw it out there.
Yes.
And
The
these guys are young,
go-to.
man. These guys are young. Tell me, like, these guys are like, Lucy's like 22. So, like, you're on a stage with some real young cats who don't need to use that much effort, because they've already got that energy
Yeah.
and all the young legs, the good working ankles. Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, nice.
It was a good weekend. And it was quite successful, which is how you wanted things to end. So,
Mm.
yeah, shout out to the
So
boys out of the 43 for having us on.
it'll be plenty more on the way with what I've seen on the Instagram.
Oh,
It looked pumped.
They're already talking about another tour with HP boys as well. So
Damn.
hopefully we'll get dragged back onto stage with those fellas as well. So who knows?
See, too easy.
It's a win for everybody.
And again, just to apologize for the last couple of weeks, due to family commitments and some of the we're just a bit busy. But yeah, we're back tonight, and on the show with us tonight, I'm fortunate enough to have my my younger brother with me, and talk about mental health. But it's let's get into it, and I'll pass it over to my brother, and he can. He's now living in the South Island, but I'll pass it over to him and where it all started for him and how his journey is going today.
Thanks for that, bro. First off, thanks for having me on the show, guys. I love it. Just love what you guys are doing. Mental health side of things, it's a bit minimum out in our public, so in the community. So it's good to see, especially our brown brothers out there talking about it, But no, thanks for that. So my name, full island name, Ngato Anem Tikura. I'm born and raised in South Auckland. Now living in the Big Smoke, Temuka, which is about 2 hours south of Christchurch, Timaru. So yeah, it's freaking definitely different down here. At the moment, it's minus about 3 degrees. So freaking fires on, heat pumps on, so everything's on. But my journey, how I ended up down here is sport. With that love of sport, from school, from youngins, me and Terry, freaking grew up through nappies together, and played probably all the sports together as well. So until we got to an age where he was a bit older, and
That's when the gout started coming. The gout,
we were still
the alcohol took over.
Playing the same age group, and he's still older than us. Everyone's still thinking, how's this guy still playing with our grade?
Forging my passport and
It's quite
Birth
sad
certificate.
because everyone was coming to me for bloody birth certificates. There's me looking at Terry's the innocent guy. So fuck this guy. But nah, that's for most of our sport anyway. There's what touch, rugby. Um, but yeah, about school around school time, come like a crossroads for me. With league and rugby, we both were brought up on league, like league from freaking nappies and that as
Mm.
well. But as soon as we got to school, that's when I started pulling, league and rugby. I never liked rugby. It was always a hard league. We'll try to play first thing for school, Tangaro College. Played our mini mods through Otara Scorpions, I think I was a bit of a club slut back then,
Like everyone was, eh?
Like everyone just follow the the winning teams. But yeah, no, it's uh, just sport got me to where I am now. We got to Tangaro College. I wasn't that great at league or rugby, so but just lucky of my size, I ended up enjoying a position in rugby that I liked. And I was a prop. um, hardly
I
end
prop
up
they hung out on the wing and kicking balls, eh?
just hang out on the wing and try to finish like the NRL finishes and aerials and everything. But yeah, it's just the journey within rugby. After that, after school, we did mix the same team as well with Terry, the Cook Island under 19 rugby team. That was good fun. We travelled for free, and that was probably the best trip.
Mm.
Freaking going halfway around the world, just fresh as. Just don't know what the hell to expect, but enjoyed it. Enjoyed it.
Got hiding from teams you wouldn't even think of, that you wouldn't even think play rugby.
I
Who
know.
bloody plays rugby for Chinese Taipei? Who
Had
the
to
hell
learn
are
this.
they? And they beat us, bro. Chinese Taipei, bro. Who the hell? And that was one of them, bro. Look, we
Alright.
we thought living in New Zealand, we had a few boys that we weren't the greatest, but we thought we
felt
were in a, but not going across there. Oh, that was different, mate. That was different.
we got we got showed up pretty pretty nice. But no, we had that comeback and I ended up playing for East Tamaki. I think you were playing Prims then, eh?
I think so. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. We were still playing 19s of some of the local boys at far out. That was a good experience. After that ET season, I think I went to league. I tried league after that for Otara Senior A's, Otara Scorpions Senior A's, and all these years you think about looking down at Senior A's, you're like, oh no, that's the bottom level. You don't want to, all the shit players go there. But far out, that's an eye opener. Eh? It's like it's the hardcore freaking, the hardcore players stay there. Eh? It's
How long did you stay there for?
I only stayed a year and a half. I stayed a year and a half of Otara Scorpions. Back then they were called Scorpion Kings. But man, we played like Otara White Monley, Oda Blue. I'm like a fish kid in league. Like, what's this Oda Blue stuff? Get there, play the game, first run. Oh yeah, that's why it's Oda Blue. Straight into fighting. I'm like, oh, bro. I'm this young kid just trying to play, thinking it was going to be a walk in the park, get some sunny bills on, but nah. Just like bring your gloves and everything you stand for when you play in Senior A's. And that's that, playing that year, Senior A sort of got my respect when people say, oh, I'll play Senior A. I'm like, oh, yeah, nice. Before I used to get, oh, I'll play Senior A's. I was like, why don't you play reserves or prims? But tell you now, like senior A is a different level. You got to have more nuts than skill in that game, in that level. Um, but yeah, freaking because I was still growing up, it freaking gave me a booster to hurry up and man up, sort of thing. So being around the guys around there as well, just having earning their beer sort of thing, and some of them just in there for the smash and some stress relief. But no, it was good. It was a good experience, and I'm glad I went through it. Um, after that senior A's, I ended up at Manukau Rovers. Uh, different. I don't know how I ended up there. Um, oh yes, out of all tournaments, went down to Whakatane, and I think it was my last tournament. A guy from another team asked where I'm from, and we were just playing. You know how you should think I was the first fiver and throw long balls in the middle, from middle to wing, thinking I was the man walk off, but no, this one of my coaches, 21's coaches from Rovers, he picked me up and just asked, oh, he'll give me a car and come to training. And being the naive person I was oh yeah, so say yes to anything back then. Oh yeah, you get a car. Oh yeah. Got back to Auckland. He picked me up a couple of days later. He went to go pick up the car. This flashes. I think it was like an old bomb, white bomb, something like a Ford. Like actually, if the car that he gave, if it hit a car made out these days, there'd be no scratches on the car that I had. But, yeah, it's just yeah. Anyway, yeah. So went to Rovers that year, played 2-1s and far up. There was another eye opener as well. Just the different levels of people we played against. That team that we had were brought by from different clubs, and the coach was actually a development and a sprint coach. Just wanted to see how far he can go by bringing different boys into different environments, and we played along some real good guys. A couple of them weren't name dropped, but some of them play for Ireland. Some of them, went on to play for other countries as well. So now it was a good bunch of lads. I stayed there for about 2 years. Did my leg there, and then eventually found my way back to the ET Malosi, Istamaki, and played some footy there. So that's probably that was probably the best years of my life of rugby there. Even though we were getting like pummeled and getting pumped.
We're the best at getting a hiding and being the first to drink straight after the game. And
Oh yeah, yeah.
I heard all
Actually,
the boys have gone back there. I heard all the boys have gone back to ET and
yeah. You see that now, eh?
yeah,
Yeah. Like
bro, and
uh,
those were the years that
gone
one
back
of
too.
a few of your boys
Mm,
we played with, and they were known for well
mm.
known,
yeah,
doing 200 games plus for
Yo,
clubs. So that's a respect in itself doing that, playing that many games. But
yeah, man.
I
having
heard
them come
Rovers, even
across.
Rovers, same thing, eh? A
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
them back. So Rovers have they're now stepping up as well now. So it's good to see
yeah.
those clubs, eh? Because I
A lot of
remember
Super Rugby players for Rovers from what
going
I've
back.
been hearing. It, yeah,
Mm.
Yeah,
No, it's good.
that's
It's
good.
good to go back, eh?
Yeah,
Like it's one thing to leave them and then kind of forget it.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's one thing. Oh yeah, it's just my home club, but what have we
yeah.
done for
But
the
yeah.
home
really go
club?
play for
Like play back,
all
eh? Like
the white clubs. Get
yeah,
paid to play
like
for the white
exactly, or
clubs.
like teach the younger kids.
Yeah,
That's one thing.
man.
Like
That's it.
I played American football, and I think the one thing I played like 9 years, and
Oh,
the one thing that my
Shit.
club didn't do was develop the younger cats.
oh,
Mm.
And that was a real bad thing because the sport itself is hard to like keep alive, in New
Yeah,
Zealand. So it
yeah,
was one
yeah.
thing to like try and strive to keep the club or the sport alive, and then it was another thing to not even develop our cults that were coming up.
Shucks.
So it was really hard to let alone build the sport in New Zealand and then actually have a team for when the old heads were too broken and
Yeah.
to carry on. So that's one thing I realized, and was an important thing that I wish I spoke up in earlier, because I ended up being one of the senior players. But it was the
Yeah.
whole development thing, and it's the whole bringing the young cats through, teaching them
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
to play with the older fellas, and like what you said, it was just like some of them are just in there just to run you over. You know, they don't even care about like scoring or anything. It's just like they just want to put on the biggest hits, and that's all
Yeah.
good. That's another aspect of the sport that you've got to learn, is to take a hit. Give a hit,
Yeah.
take a hit.
Mm.
And it's and the whole development thing of bringing the young kids up was real, like
Yeah.
not even an important thing in my club. And they
Yeah.
always felt like, if it was someone who looked like they had a potential, then they gave them the
Yeah.
time of day. Whereas if they didn't, they
Yeah,
didn't bother.
true.
Hey, no, that's what sucks, because
Yeah.
now look, the clubs or the sports itself won't even grow. So
And
it's
that's
just like
what-
that. When the big boys go and play overseas or wherever, it's always good for them to come back and just pump that experience back into
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back, eh?
all the
Yeah.
kids, because the kids look up to them.
Yeah. No, that's because you're right too. That development, it's affecting clubs now. From us 7-8 years ago, seeing the club go down, or it's either the other way. If they're low, if they're not doing too well in their grade, you look back on their development, and if they're doing really well at their grade, you still look back at their development. They've done really well in it. So I reckon you invest in the young guys, going
Yeah,
forward.
I know. And it's just like what the big sports team do now. They might come second or third, but they know in 3-4 years' time,
Yeah,
Mm.
hey, they're like planning for the championship spot.
Yeah.
So it's all about I don't know if it's the players, like the old school players, or if it's management. So it's like it's a hard thing to call, but
yeah,
like personally, you'd always want to go back
Yeah.
and give back to your,
Yeah.
it's like you said,
Yeah.
you always rep your school. You'll always rep your school no matter where you go. When someone asks, it should be the same thing about your teams. You should always rep it and always give back to them. So it's good to know that some people do it, and some people don't. I mean,
Yeah, but that's just the way it is nowadays. Like, people know that you have to put time and effort into the younger generation to come through now. Even just in life, how with this podcast, mental health, if we don't invest or change the way we are with our kids, and then it's like that cycle again. From what we were taught, we're gonna pass the same thing down. So if you transfer that to sports, if we're not, as senior players or as coaches and managers, if we're not acknowledging that we have kids there, or potential players, if we don't, I don't know, train them or bring them into environment that they know. I'm gonna be where Muffy is, and in a year's time, I'm gonna be one of the best. But if you don't give their hope to the kid, or give their hope to someone else, they're gonna find that at another club, or find that with another sport. And
yeah,
and one thing that I learned from when I was a kid, playing up at ET again, we didn't have the greatest record wins. I think we celebrated losses after a while, because that's what we were getting.
yeah,
But we had quite a few people, local players like Peter Alatini, his brother Tony, like little things like that. When they used to talk to us, they used to like give us hope, because you've seen them on a stage where, shit, man, they've made All Blacks, or they've made higher honors. Like, fuck, something so small could mean something so big to me, and that's what happened when I was playing. Again, I wasn't the best player on the field, but to hear that, I kept giving back to a club that you love.
yeah,
Even you try your best to bring players in around, like, oh bro, like, just come play for us, and we did that. We did it because even though we're a shit, we still kind of thought,
yeah,
it's about the club. It's about the club. So yeah, a little like it's what we need to do now, because we're getting older. Getting older, and I think for you, Anim, you're now in a position where you're coaching. Do you see a lot of that come through the club, and without like telling everybody the whole story. How was your I guess your transition from Auckland to the dirty South or Temuka?
Yeah. So yeah, I ended up coming down here as a player, and at that time when I made the decision coming down, I was stuck in a hard place. No motivation, no work up there, so my family was struggling. So had to do something that was right for the family, and I don't know what I was getting into. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, come down here, get into a good job, and play something that you love, like rugby.
Mm.
Um, that's I think not to say that I'm living the dream, but um, coming from myself and my experience down here, that's what I want the people in Auckland, the big cities, to do. Like I know that like we know some of families up there, um, honestly best footy players, but they're still struggling at home. Um,
Yeah.
and just no jobs or whatever, or not good paying jobs. But and that's what I want to do. I want to bring boys down here. I've started already, bringing boys down, and I think that's where we are now, at the club. Um, Create that environment for them, you know, um, and let them thrive on it. Give them opportunity and let them thrive on it. And you can sit back and say, "Oh yeah, I've put this guy in a good place." No, not taking all the credit, but because he's doing all the
Mm.
hard work, just put him in a nice space. And yeah, coaching now at the moment, going on to 3 years. And what we were saying before, the development down here, there's nothing. Honestly, rugby down here, well, now that we're coaching, rugby down here before that were years behind, years behind. Um, just maybe 20 years behind from up to the bigger cities. And all they relied on down here was this individual talent. And that can only get you so far in comps like these. Because once we found, I don't think we found a recipe, but we found something good with our club, and we've picked that on because we've won the last 3 years, and I think that's something that
Nice.
yeah. So I think that's something that's a big part of it, that development and willing to change. If you can't change, can't change yourself, then you're just gonna go sideways. But yeah, so yeah, that's it. Coaching now, obviously trying to hide the boots away, but somehow they creep back up on Saturday mornings, helping up our reserves team. So yeah, so that's basically it. Now back to coaching. Um, we tried, had a go at coaching international as well with the Cooks. Really enjoyed it, man. Best experience of my life, coaching wise. Playing against big team Tonga. We got shellacking, but we got but it was closer than what I think everybody else expected it to be. So,
I think just before you made the move down to Temuka, it was, I think, because we were so close during that time. You had the kids to worry about, and I don't think I was the best person to like any little chance I get to drink, bro, I'll call him and I'll go, bro, let's have a drink. Bro, dumbass me will give him a call, knowing that he's got kids, and he'll do that, and he'll go, oh yeah, sweet ass, come around. But the man didn't say no or like yes. He'll just say yeah, whatever. But he never let it down until, I guess, once Anim made the move down. And how long have you been in Temuka now, or down south?
7 going on 8 years.
Yeah, so like 8 years ago, you made the move. Obviously, we didn't talk to each other once that move made. You said you're gonna go, and I was like, yeah, sweet as. It's me being selfish. Like, what the hell is this dude? What the hell is this dude gonna do down there? but not knowing it became a blessing in disguise. But before that, it was just I think I was basically that negative person, like hanging on. I could say that now because when I look back, I was like, fuck, I was a I was a shit of a brother, man. I was doing shit that was selfish, but I would always like, bro, let's do this, let's go out. But he's got a kid, and the man was like, oh yeah, but and he'll let me down softly, but wouldn't be like up like fuck, nah, you go do your own shit. Anyway, and to his fiance as well, Stina, thank you for keeping me as well. But I used to text him and he comes on. She never used to say anything, so it was a blessing that making that move not only to better him and his family, but to better, I guess, us as brothers as well. Even if I'm being a bit selfish now, so. Bro, 8 years doesn't feel long, but it is when you count back. And also, it was good that we're talking about it now because you also took down our younger brother who was at I think crossroads too.
Yeah.
Working but didn't want to play any sports up here. Maybe plus when you're in Auckland, you're surrounded by all your friends. When you're surrounded by all your friends, you tend to do the same thing all the time. So I think that move for you was good, and also for me because I guess I had to look at myself and go, bro, I have to change something or move on to do something else. And grateful. I think I grew up then and learned something real fast after not getting those replies. So take it to my mom.
Oh, just pick me up. I'm only 4 hours 4 hours away.
Yeah, it was like that, man. Every like once the pay goes in, it's like, yo, hungry? Oh, yo, let's go get a box. So it was like that, right? And it was constant. And so for him to make that move, me being the selfish prick brother, I was like, bro, what's this dude doing? He's gonna leave nothing down there.
Why would you use that back then?
So it's like, shit, this guy. It's like, bro, just not thinking outside the box.
You're too nice to say no to yours.
But like his no were kind of harsh because everything I said, because I was older, he would do it. Like I'll go, let's go get a drink, or let's go get a feed, or what do you want? Should we go out? It'll be like it'll be a yes, but like you'll find out. Oh fuck, it's a no eventually. But like the next day, like drink, wash that all away. Bro, you keen. But that's the kind of shit that we were doing then. So. Again, man, I'm probably going to mention this 100 times.
Made
the best move. Having two nieces, they went down and seeing how great they're doing in their sports, and the younger niece who's giving it a go, who's quite clever herself and very smart. So seeing that, now that maybe. I was the push because I was doing fucking stupid shit here to keep him here when he was trying to grow, and don't be those kind of guys when someone's trying to grow. don't pull them back. Don't be a teary. But yeah, so he went off, and flourished by himself and with his family, and not only that, man, it's good to see that. I don't want to steal your light, but your thunder. But they've built a community down there. They've built not only moving a lot more family members down there. You can see that just everybody's connected, and although we were connected up here in Auckland, it's good to see from an outside point of view that they're doing well. So.
I was going to say, like, how many islanders down in your areas? apart from the people that are there to.
Honestly, when I got down here, you can still count them on one hand, or no, two hands. Yeah, but from then and now, far up, there's too many. It's taking over.
Was that like was it like a culture shock to you when you went down there? Or?
Yeah. You know, well, I was pretty angry that the shops down here closed about 8:30.
Oh
But
no,
yeah,
got the grumpy stomach, and it's like
bro,
Mac is right.
yeah. And our closest Macca's and all that fast food's about maybe half an hour drive.
Damn.
Um, but nah, it was a culture shock. Going from seeing locked up cage theories to freaking
Yo.
night and days down here. I don't know. Oh man, it was different. It was different. That's for sure.
What about the mental? What about the mental? Was it like we tell
Man,
yourself, I can't live down here, or was it like I
oh
gotta push it
far
and
out.
see if I can? Or
Like to be honest, it was when I landed in Christchurch. It's a 2 hour drive from there to here, and all I like on the way out of Christchurch, I was like, oh yeah, buildings, and then half an hour after that, oh farms, mountains, farms. I was like, oh, up in my head, I was like, honestly,
yeah,
like
yeah.
honestly, oh, yeah, fuck. I was like, what am I getting myself into?
Mm.
I was like, oh, bro, I was shit scared. I didn't know what the hell to expect. I didn't know, I just didn't know what I was getting myself into. My furthest south was when we went PE camp, snow camp, Mount Ruapehu.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
that's that's the furthest south I've been. But
Nah,
nah,
Christchurch has got a bit of a island community already.
yeah,
That's doing
yeah,
quite well down there. But then to
yeah.
hear you say you were 2 hours out from Christchurch,
Yeah.
well, I'm like, you might have a different accent or something.
No, but you're right. Though Christchurch has got a real good Pacific community. We're part of it somehow, just through sport, with the league and all that stuff. So when they have a league stuff up there, tag, we try to get a team and go up, and yeah, just join in, just go taste some island food that we haven't had in a while. Yeah, man. But we got a few islanders here now. It's a good island community. Down here, everyone sticks together like free rugby. All the Tonga and Samoan boys, we freaking smash each other up on the field. And 2 hours later, we're spitting pigs at nighttime. All everyone drinking together. So, it's pretty good down here now. It's just not the drinking part.
Bro, that was the same feeling when I went down. Last time I went down for a visit. That whole in the city, you're surrounded by all these buildings and so many people and these shit to do. But as soon as we go down and visit and go into their house, it's just like you're on a farm, bro. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Like it's just so. What do you call it? The community is it's good, but it's just slow. Like it wasn't for me. So like, and then I'm just like always asking myself like, why are you still like why are you there? But it's
how many wives do you have?
Like,
that's about another 2 hour drive. That's Gloriaville.
Yeah, so it was like it was slow. It was slow how I felt it was, but it was just that. But when you look at it, you see that the kids are enjoying it and they're out on the street like how the good old days. You see that the kids are out till like dark time. When that's what we used to do back in the day. So to see that, like, it kind of made sense then that it's not about us. It's not about me. It's not about Arnhem. It's about the kids now and their growth, and just seeing that is like it's really good to hear that they're doing well.
I was like, because I was only supposed to be here for a season, so I come down and play rugby for a season, see how it goes. But then I just asked the family, do you guys love it here? Do you want to move back up? Everyone's blank faced. Nah. I was like, oh well, then you guys made up your mind, and so stayed here. 6-7 years later, still here. And heaps of
Have you gotten used to the coldness? Have you learned how to? I heard like there's some places where like if you're never born there, you never get used to the cold. Is that what it's like down there?
Man, I've been here 7, 8 years. I'm still never used to it. Eh? It's a
Damn.
new cold. It's a new cold every year. Eh? But the good thing about winters is that you only cut your lawns maybe once within 4 months. It doesn't grow. The grass does not grow here in winter. I don't know, some sort of magic. I don't know. Um, but nah, yeah, it just doesn't grow in the winter.
You
And
know,
we
when you
got
go to
local
sleep, there's a sheep that comes and eats all the grass.
sheep and the goat.
And now, Mark,
I got a
does that
couple.
make you live in the farm?
I got a couple of mates down here that we know. Even Terry knows Nate and that Nathan Robinson. Like he says, "Oh, we're just going to go to this place. I've never heard of before." And all I ask is, "Oh, is that far?" And they just look at me like a blank face and just start laughing. They say, "Oh, you bloody North Islander!" I was like, "Bro, I'm asking a bloody proper question, man. I don't know where the hell everything is." But they're down the road. It's an hour and a half away. So,
Ooh.
bloody hell.
Yeah.
That sounds like
Yeah.
crazy.
But nah, it's good though. Like rugby games, Crusaders only 2 hours up the road. Highlanders 2 hours down the road. So
Who's that? Who's Crusaders?
trust me,
Bad
it was,
team.
It's all
Honestly, down
Who's
here
Crusaders?
with the Blues jersey, I've got a red target on my back. Eh? It's scary walking down here in a Blues jersey, man.
Is there many of you guys down there?
It's only about
Sure.
four in our town in Tamika that I know of that are real hardcore Blues that wear the jersey, and that's about it, man. Honestly, man. But,
Nice. I had a topic sorted for tonight, and we're gonna quickly go over it before we end tonight's podcast, and it's quite fitting because we're all in a relationship, and this scenario goes back to someone I know. I'm not going to name drop again, and it's about relationships, and I'm gonna say it in three parts, but the first part being a very religious couple, first time meeting each other, and everything, love's in the air. They're seeing each other, basically every day. Love is there apparently. They see each other, and then at some point during their relationship, a few months in, um, there's a change starting to happen in the partner. The partner's going out every weekend. Um, Not much contact within their relationship, seeing each other, and then I think doubt starts to kick in. And this scenario actually happened. I'm trying to put it in a nicer way, just so for friends, for a friend anyway. Uh, so yeah, they met each other, high school lovers. With each other for three years. Seen each other, back in school, and I don't want to dig into everyone's feelings, but back in school when you don't know what love is, but you're with that person, and you see everything. You see you're gonna marry this person, and that's what was happening then. So a few years in, lovers, and then change starts to happen within this couple. Um, One of the partners started going out a lot every weekend, every Saturday, and then it started creeping into weekdays. Going out, no contact from within each other, so communication breakdown. Um, and then uh, jealousy starts to kick in, and I'm just gonna stop that part first because it's in three parts. Jealousy starts to creep in. Now, for us, and a question I want to ask you guys is, it's simple that we get to look in and see that they spend all their time together, and now one of them is going out often, the other partner is getting a bit jealous to see like where's all this coming from. Um, the partner then finds out that she was cheating. No, ended there. We see the signs, boys. We see that sign coming because I guess going out and doing all this stuff. If you were in the position of the guy, what would you do? What is your next move? Knowing that, yeah, we can easily say, "Well, I'm gone. I'm going to leave." But if looking at it now, what will be your stance?
That's pretty good, eh? I guess you gotta look at the side of your your maturity. If you can handle it, if you can handle that she's cheated, look back and have a look at what you've done the last couple of weeks or days, whatever, and just see where it's led to. Like, we looking from the outside, I reckon we can see it. He's all of a sudden he's going out. The girl's feeling less appreciated, and while you're out, she's looking for someone to appreciate, and that's confiding in somebody. And once she gets that notice, that's all the girl needs after when in that sort of that vulnerable situation. Your partner's out, you're thinking the worst. So all I need is somebody to say, "Hey, how are you feeling?" And then bang, you're attracted to it, sort of thing. Because that's what you're looking for, right, from your partner. But I think just maturity. If you know that she played up, she's told you, respect that, and then go back and find out why. That'd be my take. Yeah, yeah. What about you, Us?
Yeah. As hard as it is to think of it that way, I think you nailed it on the head. Personally, I think it comes down to the individual. The maturity part plays a big thing. Also, where you are in your life, like you could, there's a reason why things go stale. There's a reason why, you all of a sudden you're just not interested anymore. But we're mature enough to face it how you're supposed to face it and talk about these things and use communication. Who knows? We just for me it comes down to individual. You could feel like you need a break, but not say it. You could feel like you're not interested in that person anymore, but you haven't said it. You can say to yourself that someone else is more attractive now, or you've met someone else, but you just haven't said it. Like it's
Yeah.
it's all on you to the whole communication thing is the most important part. And even then, like even if you knew how to communicate, are you mature enough to actually do that? Like bring it up,
Yeah.
say it out. Are you? Do you have those balls? Hey, do you know?
Mm.
To go up and say to your missus, look, man, I'm not. It's got nothing to do with you or whatever it is. I just, I met someone else, whatever it is. And I played up or fucking whatever it is. Who knows where he is in his life? Who knows where she is in that part of her life at the time? So it could be a number of things, but I think the whole maturity thing and where you are in your life plays a big part because, like, even like you said too, like when you're young, you thought you were done. I got a girlfriend, and my girlfriend, but really, like,
you have all these feelings.
That's my girlfriend. So it's not until you actually know what's involved, and then you're like, okay, you can be my girlfriend for life, straight away.
Yeah. I love you for 3 days. We met.
I love you straight away, sister.
I love you long time. But I say this because, and we see it today that a lot of our young people have made a decision that when they go through that, it's harder to talk about it and easier to take their own lives. So that's been a I think normal. It shouldn't be normal, but it's normal within our poly-Pacific Island communities where they go through a heartbreak and they see it, and for us,
It's an
we can
option.
say this now. Yeah, was that?
It's an option, eh? It's like somehow
Yeah.
they've made it one of the options that they could take
Yeah,
to
bro,
Yeah.
mention their feelings, you
100%.
know, when it shouldn't be. It was never
Yeah.
taught. That thing was never taught.
Yeah.
Like, it's never been one of your options, but somehow it's become like that, eh? You know, it's sad.
It's
Yeah.
become the norm, and it's ugly, and it's not nice to hear that. And we're saying it with the fact that these stats say it. You know, like relationships as a young person can there's different types of relationship, and I can't go into it because I don't know what this
Yeah.
particular young person is going through, and I just hearing that you know last year we had you know quite a few people within our community or friends of friends that had lost people to you know suicide, and the family you know taking it really bad, and you hear it over social media. And we've just got one from a question, or sorry, a comment from Data. Shout out to Data. Thank you for always turning up. But sounds like they've grown apart. You're not the same person you were in high school, and they're probably working all day. Then she's gone all night. I'd leave. Yeah, fair
It
enough.
is. I've known a lot of couples from high school that have like just stuck to this day.
Mm.
At the same time, I've known a lot of couples who you thought would never break up, eh? But man, that's the one day they're broken up. They're like
Yep.
people you never thought they'd end up with and things like that. So, and that's the young love. That's the young love that like
Mm.
you thought you knew, but you don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go into the second part of this this scenario, this story. So whilst they were sorting out their problems, you know, like we said, the communication, they're trying to talk through it. The partner then finds out she's pregnant. So I want to leave it there. What do you do now that you find out that, first of all, she's played up? You know, a few months down the track, pregnant. What is now? What is it? What's the next step for you guys?
You do this.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
that's a hard one.
Oh
There.
man,
That's a hard one. That's a different situation, eh, from the first one.
that's the game
But-
changer right there.
A game
Yeah.
changer. Man, I don't know. It's
And then
Oh.
and to be honest, like you've probably heard many stories like this
yeah.
within friends or people around you,
common,
like
eh?
that happen.
Quite
Yeah, it's
common.
quite common.
Yeah,
But we don't. It probably does get addressed, but like on a scale like this, on an open platform, and hopefully a safe platform for all. If you do want to share something, you know, this happens.
Yeah. So it's really that situation's really testing their love for each other, eh?
And saying that, like it's testing the guy. Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
like
yeah.
flip.
That's
You've
how
done
mature
that.
you then, eh? How mature are
Yeah.
you then to raise another dude's child?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not even like it's not even yours. It's not even
Mm.
hers because it's someone else's.
Mm.
And
Is
you
that- is
say-
that- Is that assuming that it's the guy that she cheated on, or they just don't know yet?
we don't know. I'll leave it like that because we can get into more. So the two sides of the story. So what decisions you make now will determine the ending.
We need the options, because what we say here is someone's gonna go and do it, you know. But to be honest, if you really loved her, you know, I know this testing your love. See it out. There's no harm in saying if it's not yours, then you can leave, sort of thing. Then leave, and then it's yours. Then oh shit, can you take me back, sort of thing? You know. See it out. I reckon. See it out. You know, freaking everything. Everyone's not perfect. Everyone's got their own. Yeah, so,
I want to question, like if you're sorry, if you're a woman, or if we have the ladies in the chat, um, hopefully we do. If you know, if you've heard this scenario and the story, you know, what's your take on this? Because we don't know what the ladies are going through or in this relationship.
mm,
We already feel that fuck. This is a really like the second attack. You know, like the
yeah,
first one, you go and move on and confide in someone else, like you said. Now, like you know, this baby pops up. So
mm.
yeah, I just want to hear it from. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Kaylee. Shout out to Kaylee for jumping on. So this is Kaylee,
Wow.
one of the sis. You can stay or you can go. It depends if you both want it bad enough to work on it. As Joel said, there's a reason why people stray. Sometimes you stay with someone because it's just easier, even if you're unhappy. So some people are scared to be alone, and some people just don't know their worth. That scenario happened to me, and I left. I knew I could forgive him, but his innocent baby would be constant reminder. Wow.
Shots this for that.
Thanks for that. Thank you.
Man, that's deep, eh? And
Very.
it takes a strong woman to, even to say that, shots this.
Yeah, and I think she's always been commenting, or the sister's been commenting on most of our podcasts. So now we thank you for
Nice.
taking that time, man. It's a reminder, hey, definitely a reminder, and damn, and just from data, demand a paternity test. If it is mine, I take care of my responsibility. But nah, I can't get over the break of trust and loyalty and respect. But I'm out. Yeah, and that's the yeah, like love, eh? If love's that strong.
It's
And
hard,
I'm not
eh?
trying to make it fun, we're poking fun at it, but it's
Yeah, it's
yeah. So okay, let's say the test comes back and it's clearly yours. What do you do next, boys?
heaps of options, eh? Do you A, stay with her, break it out, B, split, acknowledge the
And
baby's yours, and C, just run away and just. No. But seriously. Hey, I reckon, yeah, it's heaps of situations. Myself, if you're a matured male, accept it. Just freaking accept it. If you want to work it up. Try your best. Sometimes it might not work. That's when
yeah,
you know that you've given your all. She's given her all, and you just have to go both ways, sort of thing. Go their separate ways. But yeah, that's a
Gills.
hard one.
And so this is the third and final installment part to this to this story. Now after all this, the partner finding out the baby's his partner has played up. They're working through something. So this couple come from a very religious background. And you know what this all leads to at a young age. So the parents are demanding that they get married for the sake of their family,
Maybe.
for the sake of family. I mean family by parents, because again, this is another point that like sometimes it happens. They're getting forced to get married out of baby, not love, or just being a healthy couple. So this is what happened. They are forced to get married, even with all this happening before them. So their unborn child, obviously not here yet. now you're forced to get married. What do you do now? You know, so I'll say this: you now have to contest with your partner who's played up on you, and then go back to your parents and say, if this, mate, you don't even know what the hell's going on with this, like, but very religious. And again, this happens a lot within our island families.
I was just about to say something. That's nothing new in our community. There'd be
It's
so
quite
many
common,
people out there who are like watching, or who will hear it and say, "Fuck, I went through that," or like, "I know some people who went through that," because I could count on, on two hands. I'm so many people that have been through that I know. It's crazy, but it's true. It's true, but it's harsh. You know, especially for the couple, because they're the ones going through it all. Yeah, all those expectations so heavy on them. From the parents, from the church, from people looking in. Even people they don't even know is that pressure too on them, mate. So it's pretty crazy. But it's not a new thing. It's not an uncommon thing. It's stuff that we hear of all the time, and that's why just listen to your parents and stay home. Don't go God, stay home.
That's a hard one, man.
Yeah.
Where they're gonna get married. Maybe it's if they're religious enough. Like, I'm not churchy. Maybe just look back to the Bible. Keep faith. Use that as your stepping stone. Now you guys. I think the first thing they have to do is just admit that they've done wrong, both of them. Both parents, both the male and female admit.
Sorry. Dale.
Oh my gosh.
No, sorry, boys. Just my little one just go to mummy. But like, just going back on what you were saying, like, these are the pressures that you get, like, within this couple or this relationship. Like, you're getting pressure from now your parents, your partner, and now the community. So you've now been put in a position where I'm forced to love or be in a relationship that maybe I'm not truly in. Now they're getting married. Let's fast forward that now into part where they are married. They have a kid, a young kid, and then I think, and again, this is where, like, I don't know, how do you say it? Like, the past comes back to haunt you, where you're not giving this person the trust that you want. Any little thing just comes back and bites you in the ass, or vice versa. But your partner, all this is starting to happen around you. You're married. You done the right thing by your parents, but yet it wasn't the right thing for you. They're married now, and they're looking at each other like, shit, man, this was the wrong idea. Nowadays, this is a question for you guys. I want to put towards you guys. Is marriage, like, important nowadays? Oh, sorry. Is marriage important as back in the days to what it is now? What do you guys reckon?
I don't think so. I think like
Yeah.
these days, women are like more not independent, but more outspoken about how they feel about marriage and things like that. Back in the days, it was like always about marriage and like, and
That was
taking
the
the last
goal,
thing. Girls don't even like
Yeah.
taking their last names these days. Or it's like
Yeah,
they want to
yeah.
get married and keep their last name. Eh? It's like that's not how it works, though. But that's how they are, right? And that's how they're outspoken about about weddings and marriage and the whole thought of it. So I don't know. They've just got more rights these days to speak up, and they've voiced it in so many ways that that the old norm is no longer normal. Hey, it's you got the boss speak up, they will, and that's how it is these days. And it's all comes to, like I think I've always said this, that it's our jobs, like our age, our generation, to educate our parents on how the changes have happened over the years. So if you've done your job in educating our parents on how things are these days, then I'm not going to say they're going to agree with it, but they will kind of understand where you're coming from and how you feel about the whole situation. Eh? So yeah.
Hey, Data, yep, you're welcome here anytime. Run away.
So yeah, Data just mentioned I ain't getting married. I'm ghost. I'm running away to Timaru. I can send child support from there.
Man, calling me out there.
And again, Data, I don't believe in marriage. I'll just put you as an exception. This guy.
He might be on track or something here, eh? But yeah, that's a hard one, eh? Like those said, marriage nowadays is sort of like an accessory, eh? Like girls want it, girls don't want it. You know, it's how much you want it. It's just how big the wedding is. You know, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard nowadays, eh?
Yeah, like you said, Muffy, like this day and age, I think the type of getting married is not in nowadays. It's not something that people look towards, or
Yeah, it's not.
back then it used to be part of being successful. Like as a kid, you watch these story, all these movies. Like, oh, is that what it's like getting married?
Happily ever
They paint it.
after.
Yeah, they paint it as a picture where you need to get married, and I'm sure for young girls out there, they see these big dresses, and that's what they paint themselves.
Yeah,
But now you fast forward it to these days, and the way everything's evolving, it's not part. I'd say for myself, like I don't hear it as often nowadays that a lot of young people are getting married. And they are, and I think they are growing up and maturing. Maybe a little bit, but we're still hearing these the stuff happening, like suicides within relationships, getting married for the sake of community or your parents, being together. Let's say the baby wasn't theirs, and they're still trying to force that marriage onto the kids. So no, it happens, man. It's
yeah,
something that we I guess try and move around because it's what we hear.
yeah.
Sorry, Kaylee just mentioned something. I grew up LDS and grew up with the belief that marriage is once and marriage is forever. I never expected to be divorced, but it was the best decision for me. I don't regret it. Now living a little life.
Yeah, that's it's not for
But
everyone,
that's it.
eh? Yeah.
But that's it. Like
Maybe both
yeah.
adults who both grew up
But,
same understanding.
That's-
the great thing about this is that Kaylee, with just sharing her story in the chat, is that she recognized that she was worth more, right? Like she didn't need to be in a relationship or being in a marriage that was forced upon. Like I'm just referring back to the other story. Being in a marriage that, yes, we're gonna get married. That's at the end of who you're gonna see now.
yeah,
But that shouldn't be it. That shouldn't be it. If you know that you're getting married, and yet at that point it's the best decision for you. Now you go back to, after this marriage and how this relationship has grown apart. That's just the way life is. You can't force people to be in
Time
a
too.
relationship, that they don't want.
Yeah.
So credit to Kaylee for sharing that, because one thing is to share what happened within your relationship, but to say, now looking at your life, you're happier.
YOLO.
Well, that's
YOLO, man.
ultimately why. To be honest, that is why we make educated decisions like that
Yeah.
after, because you're not smart enough to understand what it is you're getting into, or that before, until it happens. But afterwards, say, and you understand it, you gotta have the balls. You gotta have the balls first
Yeah.
to admit it,
Yeah.
and then you gotta be able to tell yourself, "I can do it," and then do it.
That's the difference too.
Yeah, that's not everybody's built that way. It's like
Yeah.
some people go, "Oh no, it's so good. I'll stick it out. I'll just stay here.
Yeah. And it
I'll
gets
just,
worse. It gets toxic.
I made my bed now. I'll just sleep in it. All good. That's just the way it's gonna
Mm.
be now." No, it's not. These days, like I said, women have evolved and they've changed the way they
Yeah.
are. What's to say we can't do the same? What's to say anybody can speak up now and say, "Look, this is not for me anymore.
Yeah.
I need out, or I need to go."
Yep.
And it's not saying that I'm a bad person. It's not saying that you're a bad person. It's just that, different times in different people's lives, they go through things, and sometimes that's what it is at that time for that person, eh?
Yeah.
He could be wrong. Like later on, he could regret it, but that's at that time, and that's his
That's the
choice. That's what,
consequence.
that's what he needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what she needs. So,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying it's just good for the guys; it's good for girls too.
Yeah.
And it's just the way it is. That's life. Like, people go through it every day. Like, some people will wake up and go, "Look, I don't want to go work no more. This job's really, it's not for me. Like I thought it was, but it's not." All of a sudden, you're job hunting, planning to move on. That's the same thing. You know how you feel. Then you just action it, and that's really important. To have those fours, those nuts to be able to do that, to turn around and say, "Look, nah, I'm too grown for this."
Yeah.
Tell me what to do, shit. Like I can't do that shit anymore.
That's
I
a
gotta do
good
what's
way,
good
yeah.
for me. Yeah, I gotta do what's good for me. My mental health is at stake, and
Yeah.
it could be more than that if I carry this on.
Yeah.
True.
It's massive. And that's what this is what it's all about, eh? Like being able to speak about it, being able to open up
Yep.
about it, vulnerable to whatever the answers could be, people's opinions. Prioritize their opinions, whether you care or not. Throw it out the window if it's not good for you. Make those choices that are based on your life and what you need at the time and what you think is going to be
100%.
benefit you 110%. Because at the end of the day, you will do whatever makes you happy, whatever
Yeah.
you see is good and fit for you. Nobody else cares about you more than you, to be honest. And mom and dad, but you know what I mean. Like it's
Yeah.
no one will be that straight up with you.
Yeah.
Only you can be like that. So yeah, it's big ups to everybody who does, stand up and admit and then action.
Yeah.
Because fuck, it's the hardest thing, and
Yeah.
I've been there and I've done it. Also. I've been there, done it. I've actioned feelings before, and I am where I am today because I did that. And
Yeah.
you could be painted the worst dude, bro, and at the time, but at that time,
See, like you said, it was at
mentally,
that.
I was cruising. I was cruising mentally. I was like not carefree because I always got kids. You're never carefree when you have kids, but you're just a lot more solid, You're just a lot more stable, and you're saying to yourself, I can do this. Like I can, no one can stop me. Like, bro, I'm unstoppable right now. Like, come at me.
Yeah.
I like how you said also, like, once you made that decision, everyone around you started making a call for your relationship, like saying why they're doing it. Like, see, like they're throwing more, like it's like burden on top of the burden that you're trying to release. So it's good how you said, you you wiped that all away. You just threw
Bro,
up this
my nana,
wall and just
my nana was like, she sat me down and she's like, my nana never speaks to us, but she's like, "What happened? Is everything all right?" I said, "Yeah," and I told her exactly that I'm doing what I'm doing because I need this for me, and that was it. That was the end of it. And like I said, they're not educated, like they're old school. But if you
yeah.
educate them
But
and
she
tell them
and
what's up,
yeah,
they'll automatically, but they love you so much, they'll just turn around and say, "Look, okay, if that's what you need or want,
Yeah,
and as long as you are okay and happy, that's what it's all about." Like that's
yeah,
what real lovers
like,
say when they unconditionally love you like that way, and you know they do.
mm,
So it's
yeah,
backing like from the right people, and whoever doesn't, bro, that's just
yeah,
slid right off my back. Also, I don't care, you
yeah.
know.
mm.
It's good
Good
that
on you.
that we're talking about it now because it's what these kids need these days. Good on, because they're not born and bred like I say. Like
Mm,
we've
mm,
had a bit of experience, but it's those guys going to that are gonna just about happen to them. They don't
mm,
know, but now
Mm,
once they're listening to what's going on, maybe they can have their point of view. Be a bit stronger. Talk to somebody older,
mm,
um, wiser that's been there, done that. Maybe not the same experience, but wiser. Talking to
mm.
somebody wiser, you know that you can listen. Get a
Yeah,
good feedback,
yeah,
good chat, and you'll feel good after the day.
yeah. Even if you're at fault, right?
Mm,
Even
yeah,
if you're the guy that played up,
yeah,
and you had a chat like this, like we're having right now, you'll automatically sit there and put things into perspective bit by bit.
yeah,
yep,
You end up telling yourself, I fucked up, you know?
yeah,
I did fuck up. It was me, I fucked up. But at the same time, you're starting to piece back what you're gonna need to do next. What's your next
yeah,
step? You're
yeah.
already in that
Next step.
you're already in that mode, So it doesn't end like speaking to somebody openly and freely doesn't just close things off.
yeah,
It starts you going again, It starts you like moving on. It starts you just rolling the ball again. And that's I've told one of my other mates who's been through heartbreak and relationship loss. And I said, also, one thing I really because I've seen him deteriorate, like his health and everything. And I said to
uh,
him, now that you're going through this, if you can't think of anything else, here's a chance to put yourself first. Start working on
yeah,
yourself. Hey, start working
yeah,
on yourself. Get
Mm,
back into the gym. Get back into number one because that's all. No one cares about you but you. Like
yeah,
trust me,
yeah,
right
yeah,
now. Um, if you don't know what else to do, right? Your mind's stuck. You just go do something. Gym,
yeah,
looking after yourself. Just putting yourself first because
yeah,
that's what somebody else has done. They've put themselves first. You need to do that for yourself.
yeah.
Um, and this and like we said, Terry, every week we're not professionals. We've just
yeah.
been through
Bro,
that shit. Eh?
Yeah.
We've seen that shit. We've been through it. We lived through it. Some of us have
Yeah,
survived, and some of us haven't. We're still victim to that
mm,
shit. So
yeah,
yeah.
we're all learning. We're all learning every day.
That's it, man. That's the truth that we're trying to speak. And bro, and if you're listening and if you just joined and you don't know what the hell we're talking about, it's just
Mhm.
stuff that's been on our minds and that happens in the community or it's just happened out quite regularly. And we hear about it. It's just so we're trying to bring it to the table so it's open for all of us to chat about. Not many people want to chat about it, which is fine, but and not everyone wants to talk about it. Not everyone wants to talk about their relationships, and that's fine. But like, it's so good to hear that people there are people they want to speak up. So shout out to them. Um, yeah. So I guess at this point, man, we've had a great chat. And usually at the end of all this, before we go forward, sorry, data with the gems. Like they say, communication is the key. Speak up, speak out. Easier said than done, but well
yeah,
worth it.
yeah.
Of
Mm.
course.
And with that being said, please, we'll come to the end of our show, but we like to share something that's taken or that stayed in our brains or something that we want to share with everyone out there. Um, I'll start. I'll start. It's something that Muffy's been saying is that sometimes you need to kind of work on yourself to. Sometimes you need to work on yourself first, in order for your relationship, in order for you to have a better relationship with someone else, if you can't be in a relationship with yourself or a healthy relationship within yourself, then how do you expect that to be? How do you expect someone else to know that? Or better yet, how do you expect your partner to know that? So that's something I've taken away from Muffy, and that's been accumulated over the times Muffy's been sharing his journey too. So shout out to Muffy for that. And I'll pass it over to Muffy.
Oh man, for me, thank you also for jumping on tonight. Thank you to everybody who's jumped in and had a chat through the chat. We appreciate you every week pulling through. Apologies for the last couple of weeks that we've been family's been first and things have happened.
Yes.
But we're here. We will always be here. For me, it's always going to be the same. It's a challenge. It's always challenging everybody to say hello to somebody you haven't said hello to. Introduce yourself. Ask them how they are. Ask them how their day's been. Make a new friend. It's all about mental health. So we like to just you got to be in the know what you don't know. So yeah, that's I challenge everybody to, it could be at work. That person even said hello to, say hello. You never know what they what headspace they could be in. They might need some help, and you could be that last person that they ever thought they'll talk to, but they're now going to be using your shoulder. Who knows? So yeah, that's what I'll leave with you guys tonight. Challenge you to speak to somebody you've never spoken to, somebody who needs some help, and just be vulnerable and allow yourself to help them out if they need.
Sure, boys. Thanks for having me on the show, boys. Really, really appreciate it, and I'm really honored to be here. We've watched a couple of podcasts in the past, and I've checked in some lazy comments in there as well. So, something for the just for our viewers, just for yourself, challenge yourself to be approachable. If you're standoff, no one's going to talk to you. If you're happy, if you're open, knowing that you can talk to them, challenge yourself to be approachable. If you don't understand it, test it, try it, go up to somebody that you think that's unapproachable, and then try to break that barrier. But thanks, team.
Shot, and just quickly from the chat, thank you for coming through. Love yourself first before you love others. Sweet, bro. That's And also to Kaylee, shot sis. Love the kōrero tonight, y'all. Excuse me for my Māori, but manawatea matariki. Kia ora. Kia ora, te katoa. Another one from the man. I don't expect too much, but be more accepting of your flaws. Yeah, bro, 100%.
Yeah.
So, again, man, apologies for the last couple of weeks, as Muffy mentioned, but we also appreciate you guys always tuning in every night and throwing comments in our chat. That's been the best for us because we get to engage with, not outside of our opinions, and what we're thinking. We get to hear what you guys are talking about. So thank you. Next, make sure to tune in next week, 8 p.m. We have a guest that will be joining us. That's from Australia, who will be sharing his journey. But stay tuned to our socials. So we're on Instagram, if you're not there, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. So we go live to 3 of those platforms, and you're here with us, so you probably already know. So thank you, fams. Last words, guys, before we close up. You want to say a prayer now? So this is For the Boys podcast. Thank you. You're joined by Teza, Muffy, and Mana. We're out.